So, is AI coming for your job? That's the question, isn't it? It's on everybody's mind. Today, we're going to cut through all the noise and take a hard look at what AI is actually doing to the job market. Are we talking about mass unemployment, or are we on the edge of a massive, exciting transformation? Let's get into it.
Wow, okay, so that statement, that's not from some sci-fi blockbuster, that's from Jim Farley, the CEO of Ford, and it really captures the anxiety we're all feeling, right? The fear isn't about factory robots anymore. It's moved into the office, targeting jobs that, used to feel so secure, jobs that need degrees and years of experience. So, what's the real story here? Is it all just hype? Or is this the new reality we need to get used to? Well, it's not a simple yes or no. The truth, as it usually is a lot more complicated. So in this explainer, we're going to break down both sides of this debate, the promise of transformation versus the threat of displacement, and then we'll dive into the actual data to see what's really going on. All right, first up, let's look at the optimistic side of things. The argument here is that this isn't the end of work as we know it, but maybe the beginning of a completely new kind of work, a major job transformation. The thinking here is that we should look at AI like other massive inventions from the past. Think about the spinning jenny back in the Industrial Revolution. Sure, it put a lot of home weavers out of a job, but it also created this explosion of new jobs in factories and mills. The idea is that AI is going to do the same thing. It'll be a powerful tool that makes us better at our jobs and creates professions we can't even dream of yet.
And hey, this isn't just wishful thinking. People are actually putting numbers to this. Just look at these projections. We're talking about 12 million new jobs in AI integration alone by 2030. And check out the annual growth rates. AI training and evaluation is expected to grow by a staggering 30% every single year. This isn't just a few new jobs, it's the blueprint for a whole new economy.
And get this, we're not just talking about jobs for coders. Look at these titles. An AI ethics officer, a prompt engineer, who's basically a translator between people and AI, an algorithmic bias ombudsperson. I mean, how cool is that? These are deeply human jobs, all about managing and guiding AI so it fits into our society in a responsible way.
Okay, but for every optimist, there's someone else saying, hold on a second. This time, it feels different. So now let's flip the coin and look at the other side of the debate, the very real threat of job displacement.
And this brings us to this kind of scary new term, the white-collar recession. Now, this is not your typical recession. In this scenario, companies are making tons of money, productivity is through the roof, but they're just not hiring for professional roles. And why? Because AI is starting to do that work cheaper and honestly faster than humans can.
And the crucial point here is, this isn't some theoretical problem for the future. We're already seeing the warning signs. A 20% drop in job openings for professional services, that is a massive red flag. It tells us that something fundamental is changing in the job market, and those jobs we used to think were the safest are now right on the front lines.
And if you want to see the human cost behind these numbers, this quote just says it all. This audio producer, Christian Allen, saw a 1,000-pound job just evaporate, and it was replaced by an AI tool that cost less than 12 quid. I mean, when the price difference is that insane, you can see why companies are making the switch and why people are getting really nervous.
So we have two completely opposite stories, right? Transformation versus displacement. So which one is it? Well, a really fascinating study from the Stanford Digital Economic Lab gives us the clearest picture yet of what's actually happening right now.
The researchers call their work a canary in the coal mine, that early warning signal of a much bigger change on the horizon. They looked at millions of payroll records to pinpoint exactly who is feeling the heat from generative AI. And the results? Well, they're incredibly specific.
And here it is. This is the big takeaway. The data is just stark. Since late 2022, right when generative AI really blew up, employment for young, entry-level workers, we're talking 22 to 25-year-olds, in fields like software development has dropped by 6%. But at the same time, look at the other bar. For their more experienced coworkers in the exact same fields, employment has actually gone up by an average of 7.5%.
And when the researchers dug even deeper and filtered out other factors, the effect was even clearer. A 13% relative decline in hiring for young workers in the jobs most exposed to AI. It seems like AI is really good at replacing the book smarts that a recent grad brings, but it can't yet touch the real-world, hands-on experience that senior employees have.
The study also makes this absolutely critical point. Not all AI is the same. There's a huge difference. When AI is used to automate a task,
to basically replace a human, that's where we see the job numbers for young people go down. But when it's used to augment a task, to act as a tool or a collaborator for a human, that negative effect completely disappears. So, how a company uses AI makes all the difference in the world.
Okay, so after all of that, what's the takeaway? What are we supposed to do? The ground is definitely shifting under our feet, especially for anyone just starting their career. So the big question is, how do you get ready for this new world?
Well, most experts seem to agree on a three-part game plan. First, you've got to reskill. Learn about this technology. Second, and this is so important, double down on the skills that make you human. AI has zero creativity, no emotional intelligence, and it can't solve a truly new problem. So get better at that stuff. And third, you have to shift your whole mindset. Learn to work with AI as a partner that makes you better, not as a competitor you're trying to beat.
And really, that's what it all boils down to. You're never going to win a race against a calculator to see who can do math faster, right? It's a losing game. The future belongs to the people who can let AI handle the repetitive stuff, freeing them up to focus on strategy, creativity, and complex human relationships, all the things AI just can't touch.
So, we end up right back where we started, but the question has changed. It's not if AI is coming for jobs anymore. The real question is, will you be ready when it gets here? The data shows the changes are already happening, but it also shows us there's a path forward. The AI revolution is here, and being ready for it might just be the most important job skill you can have.